Hey there, Internet! Ever wanted to learn how to draw Pikachu? Grab a piece of paper and a pencil and let's do it! Alright, to get started, you just need a piece of paper and a pencil. And I'm going to start by finding some basic shapes. You can see I am making some circular motions, and then when I feel confident, I start putting them down with my pencil. That's going to be Pikachu's head. His body is kind of round and squishy too, so let's make a slightly larger circle that overlaps, kind of like a sideways Venn diagram. From here, I've got to figure out where his face is going to go. I start with a y-axis and an x-axis, just like on a graph. That's going to be the center of his face, in the middle where his nose would be, in the center of his face, from top to bottom where his eyes are. You'll notice they're kind of curved because his head is a sphere. Next, I'm going to add in two tall, skinny, kind of almond shapes attached to his head, and that's going to be where his ears are going to go later on. This next part, I'm trying to figure out where I want the hands. I'm just kind of making this Pikachu up as I go, just so you can see the process. So his arms, to simplify them, they're just kind of like little squishy triangles that come out of his body. So I'm going to put two arms going either direction from his body. His feet, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. I think I'm just going to have one flat and one kicking up in front of him. So I'm just going to start with some little ovals because he has like skinny rabbit feet. I always thought Pikachu looked more like a rabbit than a mouse, but you know, that's just me. And then I'm going to make a zigzag line coming right off his butt to be where his little lightning bolt shaped tail is going to go. Now for his face, that middle line that splits from top to bottom, that's his eye line. So I'm going to make two circles in about the same place on either side. Those are going to be his big round eyes. In the middle, just below the eye line, I'm going to make a tiny little black oval where his nose will go, and below that, I'm going to add his mouth. I'm just going to draw two upward curving lines that meet right in the middle axis, and then from there, we're going to come down with a big U shape almost to be his bottom lip, and I'm going to indicate his tongue with a simple curved line that goes from left to right inside the mouth. Now, I'm going to start cleaning up the outline because his face isn't a perfect circle. Now bear with me because this whole thing isn't perfect, it's just a fun drawing. I will make changes later, but I'm kind of adding contour lines around the outside to give him a little more shape. Less circular, more Pikachu shaped. He's got chubbier cheeks and it narrows toward the top. His ears are pretty good, I'm just going to outline those real quick. Just darker so you can see it. You'll notice all that stuff I did earlier was really light. You always want to do your basic structure drawings with light pressure so you can erase later. Here I've decided, since these are lines I want to keep, I'm going to go over them and make them a little easier to see by adding more pressure with my pencil. I even indicate little circles where the highlights are going to go later, the little whites of his eyes. Clean up his little mouth, fix that, indicate the tongue. Now he's starting to look like a Pikachu, but he needs some cheeks. So here I go again, gently drawing in some circles, trying to make them round. Remember, if it's not perfect, that's okay. Drawing doesn't always have to be perfect. Sometimes you just do it for fun, and it can be nice and stress relieving. Hopefully you're trying it out for yourself here. If you do, make sure to follow on Twitter and tag me at TCRFeltonArt. I'd like to see what you make. Here, I'm going to start drawing the tops and bottoms of his arms. And to make his hands, I just make three little bumps because I like to give him 3 fingers and a thumb. That's just a sideways V, isn't it? I like to simplify things instead of worrying about what it actually is. I just kind of, if it looks like something that my brain can convince myself to draw easier, I'll go for it. So those thumbs look like V's. Now I'm going to bring down his body from his neck and kind of clean it up. I'm not in love with those lines, but you know what? Sometimes you just live with it. You'll notice later when I color it, I do make some adjustments. And for his toes, I draw the top and bottom of the foot, and then I just draw like a capital letter W in between them to show that he's got 3 toes. Look, it's really just a letter W, isn't it? Now add the back portion, and next, I'm going to just take my eraser, clean up a little bit, because like I said, I wasn't in love with that line over there. And that's the cool thing about art. It's not permanent unless you've inked it or painted it. And even then, you can still go over it in different ways. But with pencil, just a quick eraser, swipe away the dust, and move along. I did want those lines overlapping to show that the arm is kind of behind his body, so I left a little gap. You'll see it better later. Now I'm going to add in his little back stripes, because people kind of forget Pikachu has 2 little brown stripes on his back, and at this angle you might be able to see them just kind of sneaking around the corner. And after that, I'm going to just outline that zigzag I made to make his lightning bolt tail. I started with a straight line to be the end of the tail, and then I just kind of followed the line I made with other ones, added a little squiggly line where the brown's going to end on his tail, and now I'm just going to go in, erase any excess pencil marks I don't like, don't need visible before we color. Now, if you're just drawing a Pikachu, this is it. You can stop right here, but if you'd like to color it, you can color it any way you want. I'm not going to go over that today. I am, in just a moment, going to toss this sucker into my iPad and do some painting digitally there. So I hope you stick around to see the finished result, and I hope to see your finished results on Twitter. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed watching me color Pikachu on my iPad. I tried to use markers on there as best I could digitally. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to follow along, and I would look forward to seeing your creations on Twitter. Just tag me at TCRFeltonArt. Follow me while you're at it. And have an awesome weekend. Remember, once I hit 1,000 subs, I will be giving a random subscriber a free copy of Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet. Stay awesome, Internet, and I'll see you next time.